Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Dubik, good to see you again. I think we visited last when I was in Iraq in August, and Mr. Straub, good to see you too. I've been concerned for quite a long time about the police training. Certainly any successful counterinsurgency strategy would include a regular constabulary, and as we all know, this is a mission set that normally falls under the State Department. But they have, for many reasons, lack of resources and, frankly, the security environment in Iraq not meeting their minimum standards. This has been a mission that the Pentagon and our military has been executing since we invaded Iraq in 2003. Clearly, the Jones Report, the independent commission that came out last year, had a scathing indictment on the Ministry of Interior, basically saying that it was riddled, that it was a sectarian fight, that if you went up the elevator over this 5- or 6-story building, you had to be careful if you were a Sunni or a Shia what floor you got off on. I'm not sure that that's improved a lot, but that doesn't bode well for the kind of cohesion and training that we would expect for a constabulary force, which is part of the overall security blanket that we need. We need, obviously, military, we need border security, we need customs people, but we need people that are going to adjudicate normal little things that happen in communities. And since the Iraqi government fell, clearly all the prisons were emptied, local law enforcement disappeared, so that's a big part of the security problem. I've introduced a bill that would free our troops to go back to their normal duties as warfighters and put the State Department back in charge of building a constabulary force. I've already told you two of the problems. One are resources, and two is that the security in Iraq doesn't meet the minimum standards of the State Department, and they don't want to send people in to do that job. I've met with General Paxton, and I've met with Assistant Secretary David Johnson about coming up with a transition plan. I'd just like to have your ideas, both you, General Dubik, and Mr. Straub, on whether you think that that is something that we could accomplish in the midterm, short term, and where do you actually place the emphasis on police training, and what you actually think the is there good news about the Department of Interior? Is there good news coming out of I know that that we have academies like the Karbala Academy, which I think has some good news to it. So if you can just chat a little bit about that and give us an assessment of whether you think the State Department can take this mission anytime soon, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. First part, the question on status of the Minister of Interior. The description of the Jones Commission in last summer of the Ministry of Interior building was accurate. It would be completely inaccurate today. I personally have had several conferences held in the Ministry of Interior building. We've had press conferences there. We've had multinational force conferences with General Petraeus presiding. The air of the ministry is simply different 1 year later. The numbers of armed guards and all that stuff that he described are gone. The upgrades to the building at Iraqi expenses are significant. The physical appearance is much different than it was a year ago. And the physical appearance is reflective of a significant change in the Minister of Interior. 2007 to present, I think he relieved 33 brigadier generals and 8 major generals, and 130 some colonels and lieutenant colonels or equivalents. He's been on a clean sweep of that he understands is going to have to go on for a good while longer, but he's on a very important sweep of the Ministry of Interior in their proficiency and behavior. He's adopted his own strategic planning seminar. He's adopted his own semi-annual and quarterly business reviews of his sectors. He's decentralizing many of his decisions.
Well, General, I understand that there's now a major change. I take your word for it, but I'm running out of time. If you can get to my specific question.
On the other part, yes,
can the State Department take this mission over?
Yes, ma'am. On the other part, in terms of the State Department assuming responsibility, I think this is desirable. But for several other reasons, besides those you stated, I think we're not quite there yet. Personally, I would like to see the State Department assign to Manistiki now 7, 8, 9, 12 officers that act as deputies within the Ministry of Interior and Police forces, so they start building the capacity. So as we get closer to the security situation and budget situation, and it's no longer counterinsurgency policing but community policing, they can assume responsibility and they have an experience base to do that. We would welcome those assignments, and I've sent a letter to the State Department asking for that about 9 months ago.
About 9 months ago, could we have a copy of that letter, please?
I can get them to you, yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.